A massive international company thought they could quietly take 50 euros from a disabled family right before Christmas. They ignored my calls. They ignored my emails. They ignored my legal rights. So I did the one thing corporations fear more than lawsuits. I made them answer publicly. And within 24 hours, executives who didn't even know I existed were suddenly calling me, apologizing. If you've ever been ignored, disrespected, or treated like you didn't matter because you were just one customer, this story is going to hit hard. Hit like, subscribe, and settle in, because today's story proves something powerful. Sometimes justice doesn't come from power. It comes from refusing to stay silent.
Christmas in our house isn't about luxury. It never has been. My wife and I both live on disability support. That means every euro has a purpose before it even arrives. Bills are planned weeks ahead. Groceries are calculated. Unexpected expenses? They don't just hurt, they destabilize everything. But there's one thing we refuse to compromise on: our kids' Christmas, especially our 9-year-old son. He was obsessed with football that year. Every free moment, he was outside kicking a ball against the wall, pretending he was scoring winning goals in packed stadiums. So when we found the perfect Santa gift, a football rebounder, basically a trampoline that fires the ball back at you, we knew it would make his Christmas magical. We ordered it from a large UK sports retailer that also operates here in Ireland. Big company, trusted name, professional website. Normal checkout, normal payment, no warnings, no extra charges. We clicked buy, smiled at each other, and crossed one more gift off the Christmas list. Simple. Or so we thought.
A few days later, my wife received a delivery notification. Not unusual during December, but this one felt off. A courier company, the kind everyone recognizes by their brown uniforms, was demanding customs charges before delivery. Almost 50 euros. We stared at each other. Did we order something from outside Ireland? She asked. We checked emails, order confirmations, receipts. Nothing. Every Christmas purchase had already arrived. So naturally, we assumed what anyone would assume: a scam. Because scams spike around the holidays, and we weren't about to throw away money we didn't have. I told my wife, call them. Confirm who shipped it. That call changed everything. After digging through shipping details, tracking numbers, and confusing explanations, we learned the truth. The rebounder, our son's Santa gift, the company had shipped it from the UK instead of Ireland, routing it through multiple carriers until it reached the courier demanding customs fees. And nowhere, not once during checkout, had they warned us this would happen. No notice, no disclaimer, no final checkout warning. Just a surprise bill right before Christmas. For most people, 50 euros is annoying. For us, it meant rearranging food money. It meant stress. It meant anxiety we didn't need. But we paid it. Because Christmas morning mattered more than pride. I told my wife, pay it. I'll sort this with the company. I genuinely believed it would be an easy fix. I was wrong. I used to work in a call center, so I understand customer service workers. They aren't the enemy. They follow scripts. They deal with angry people all day. So I stayed calm, polite, respectful. Day 1, 3 separate calls. Each one involved 20 minutes of hold music looping like psychological torture. Each time, I explained the situation clearly. Each time, I requested one simple thing. Can a manager call me back? Each time, they promised. And each time, nothing happened. No call, no email, no acknowledgement. Day 2? Exactly the same. Long holds, polite conversations, empty promises. By day 3, something inside me started to change. Not rage, something worse.
feeling of being dismissed. Like we didn't matter. Like they assumed we'd eventually give up.
On the third day, I called again. Longer hold, more waiting, more corporate music. When a representative finally answered, I explained everything again, calmly but firmly. I only want the 50 euros refunded, I said. It wasn't disclosed. Irish consumer law requires additional charges to be shown before checkout. I even tested it myself. I added the same item to my cart again, went through checkout, still no warning. Clear violation. The representative sounded indifferent. Then came the sentence that flipped a switch in my brain. He offered me a $20 gift voucher. Not cash, not a refund, a coupon to spend more money with the company that caused the problem. And then he read from a script. We advise customers there may be delivery duty unpaid charges on items shipped outside the UK. I paused. Where does it say that? I asked. Silence. He didn't know. That silence told me everything. They weren't fixing this. They were brushing me off. And suddenly, it wasn't about $50 anymore. It was about respect.
I took a breath. Slow, controlled. I'm giving your company one last chance, I said. Have a manager call me within 60 minutes. If not, I'm posting this entire situation publicly and tagging every senior executive in your company. Then I hung up and waited. 1 hour passed. No call, no email, nothing. That was the moment it stopped being customer service and became war. That night, I opened my laptop. I wasn't shouting. I wasn't emotional. I was precise, methodical. I wrote a detailed public post describing everything. Hidden charges, ignored customers, broken consumer rights, Christmas stress placed on a disabled family. Then, I tagged them. Not just the company page, everyone. Regional managers, European directors, senior executives, all the way up to the CEO. If they wouldn't listen privately, they would answer publicly. I clicked post and leaned back, heart racing. Because once you do something like that, there's no undo button. Something interesting happened almost immediately. The product vanished from their website. Gone. Deleted. They thought removing evidence would solve the problem, but they underestimated one thing. I understand how the internet works. Searching their site still showed the rebounder listing? Screenshot. The product page now missing? Screenshot. Google cached version from 2 days earlier showing the item exactly as purchased? Screenshot. I added them all to the post and wrote, so instead of fixing the issue, they're trying to hide it. Then I tagged every executive again. The post started gaining attention. Comments appeared, people sharing similar stories. Then I noticed something strange. 3 anonymous profile views. Incognito visitors. No names, no connections, just silent observers. I laughed, because we both knew who they were. So I screenshotted that too and added it to the post. Looks like someone from head office is watching. At that moment, I realized something powerful. For the first time, they were paying attention. The next morning, my phone rang. UK number. I answered. A senior executive from their head office spoke, voice careful, polite, almost nervous. She apologized immediately. Not scripted, not defensive, real. What can we do to make this right? I thought back to the beginning. All I'd wanted was fairness. Originally, I just wanted the 50 euros back. But now, I had spent days fighting to be heard. So I told her calmly, I want the 50 euros refunded, a full refund on the purchase, and we keep the product. Silence. Then she said, "Please give me a couple of hours."
1 hour later, she called back, apologizing again. She asked for my PayPal address. Minutes later, 50 euros refunded. Then another notification, full purchase refund, and confirmation we could keep the rebounder. Just like that. The same company that ignored me for days solved everything in under 2 hours once the public saw the truth. I thanked her sincerely because she actually fixed it. But inside, I felt something deeper than victory. Relief. Not because of the money, because I proved something to myself. My family wasn't invisible. Christmas morning came. My son ran downstairs, saw the rebounder. His face lit up in a way no refund ever could. That moment, that joy, that belief in Santa, worth infinitely more than any corporation's reputation. And standing there, watching him play, I realized why I fought so hard. Not for revenge, not for money, but because no company, no matter how big, gets to walk over my family and expect silence. They were a massive, multi-million-pound retailer. I was just one man. But one voice, used properly, can be louder than an entire corporation. The lesson here isn't to attack businesses. It's this. Know your worth. Know your rights. And never assume you're powerless just because you're small. Respect should never depend on how much money you have. Sometimes justice happens the moment you refuse to accept unfair treatment. If this story gave you that satisfying feeling of justice being served, hit the like button and subscribe for more real stories where karma shows up right on time. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying moment where someone finally got what they deserved? Because trust me, the best revenge stories are still out there. And we're just getting started.